Hi, I'm John Anthony Smith, Chief Listening Officer and founder of Conversant Group. I'm here today with my friend David Fox. He's going to give us a tour of Lakeway Christian Academy.
I'm David Fox. I'm the IT Director here, and I'm here with my friend John Smith, and I'm going to take you guys on a great tour today.
Let's go.
All right. Now, one of the few classrooms left in America, home ec.
My favorite
Or
class.
culinary arts, let's put it
My
that way.
favorite class. This was my favorite.
This will be a full culinary arts.
This is where I learned that macaroni was supposed to be made in the oven, not on top with in a pan.
Gotcha.
I learned that macaroni was meant to be baked in home ec. So Fox, when we remind me, how did we worked together. That's how we met.
Yeah. You were either last year of college or your first year out of college.
I was in my junior year of college.
Junior year of college. And you started working at Networks in
2000.
You were assigned to me day 2.
That's right.
All right. Now, this year we actually did a full automation part of our programming lab so that we can have our computers come out of the desk and everything be contained into one. There's also a lock button on this remote so the teacher can control it. Pretty cool, huh?
All Microsoft products?
Everything is Microsoft.
Where's Google? Oh, I see Google Chrome. That's about it, right?
I'll let them use Google Chrome because, everybody knows it. I don't even like Internet Explorer. But these guys do have full Adobe suites, the Creative Suite.
Premiere?
Everything.
So we met when I was in college, and we went our own ways. I think we met again in the airport, right?
We did, Chattanooga Airport.
And you were selling generators. Is that what you were doing? No, like
We were
telecom buildings or something.
Yeah, the buildings at the bottom of cell towers and data centers. All right. This is our digital media center. Actually, we call this a library without books.
Thank you. Sweet. What's that over there?
That is our conference room.
So how will they be doing library? Will they be doing digital books?
Yes. Not only we'll have some books here, but most everything will be digital media.
So we were talking earlier about how big of a wireless project this was. I think for both of us, this is probably our largest wireless project we've ever completed, right?
Yeah, this is the largest Wi-Fi I've ever dealt with. We have 174 access points, 35 switches, Meraki. Everything's tied into our 40-gate firewalls.
Why did you choose Meraki? I was trying to rack my brain as to. I know we went back and forth. I think on the original design we did Catalyst and Nexus, and then we went to Meraki. I think you had prior experience with Meraki.
Not just that. I needed the ease of use. We've only got two IP administrators, me being one of them. So I needed to be able to control all 4 of our locations from one console screen.
And Meraki allowed you to accomplish that. Why?
Because it gave me everything in a dashboard.
All cloud-based, right?
Yeah. Normally, I'm a big Cisco guy, and I really don't like the cloud, but I had to trust it on this one.
Tell us about the screen.
Welcome to Nevco Samsung high-definition 4K screens. Pretty cool.
So why did you choose Microsoft over Google or any of the other platforms that many schools use? I know at least with my kids' school, they used Google.
Well,
why Microsoft?
I had the opportunity to build this network from the ground up. And the one thing I want to do is give our kids a chance to win. Not just in school, but after school too. And the only way to do that is give them a Microsoft product.
So you're preparing them for life?
Yes.
That's the punchline.
If you take a look at it, school is no different than manufacturing. We're manufacturing one-off next-gen kids. That's all we do. And if you base it on that business model, give them the tools to win.
Yeah.
Like I said, we did an all Microsoft school. Even our displays are Microsoft.
Now, you were telling me earlier that the teacher can basically teach from anywhere in the room.
Yes.
How does that work?
We're using the Mimeo technology there on the board. And what it does, we calibrate it to the screen size. And it's just like putting a touch screen up there for them.
So they can literally click on their computer using this whiteboard.
Yes. Right? Mm-hmm. And draw, circle, highlight, write notes, use OneNote, writing OneNote on the screen, which has made it's tremendously helpful for them. However, we go through a lot of batteries though. That's 6 AAA. But yeah, they can actually now draw on the board too without just their fingers. But as far as touch goes, they just touch it and go.
Now, we were talking when we were here earlier about some of the technologies we're using to protect the kids. Obviously, there's a lot of smut on the internet. How is Lakeway preparing the devices that the students are using to keep them from getting to things that could harm them? Right.
We did a 4-layer security concept. We started with our DPI on our firewalls.
And what is DPI? Explain DPI.
Deep packet inspection. It's where we inspect all HTTP traffic going through the firewall itself for anything bad. They can't just type in an IP address and then get to the website. It's going to inspect that too. The second layer, we did the FortiClient on each one of the networks or each one of their PCs, and that protects them when they're away from here because there's a policy on the PC and now on the firewall itself, so no matter where they're at. The third layer is we did Cisco Umbrella DNS for everybody here locally at the school, and they're also using it on the FortiClient as well. So they're getting that at home. And for the kids, we took it one step farther and started to use the Cisco Umbrella client on each one of their laptops. Therefore, we can control their laptop wherever it goes, even at Starbucks. So they're protected at that point.
Now, why did you choose Conversant for all of this? Obviously, talk to me a little bit about why us.
I trust you. Okay, that was my biggest thing. You and I have known each other for a long time. And here in East Tennessee, there's not a lot of people I can call for this type of network. But you guys came in and helped me out. We designed the network together. It's not just one-sided. So that's why we chose Conversant.
Good. And you were talking to me over lunch about Brandon Killian specifically on my team, the gentleman that helped you deploy your firewalls. Why do you like Brandon Killian, and what makes him a great engineer?
Him and I complement each other a little bit. He kind of reminds me when I was a little bit younger. I know my stuff. I'm really arrogant, but he'll work with me to get what I need done. Not just here's what I think you need, but I need this too. So you got to figure this in the mix. And he was willing to work with me at that point. Not a lot of engineers will do that.
Good. So. Yeah, Brandon Killian's brilliant. We're so thankful to have him. So maybe we go to the next place. You show us some more nerdy stuff.
Sure.
Right?
Let's go to the Performance Arts Center.
You're talking about Fortinet, FortiGate, deep packet inspection, and one of the big things that I think many organizations miss, especially schools, is they often forget that most of the internet now is encrypted. You mentioned HTTP.
HTTPS.
Right, but what we've done here is we're inspecting HTTPS as well, which 60% or so or more now of the internet's encrypted. So many schools, including the school where my kids go, I fail to inspect encrypted packets. And I think the beautiful thing that we've done here together is that we're literally inspecting internet traffic multiple ways, right? We really, like you said, have a 4-pronged approach to really secure the internet traffic to our students, your students, no matter where they roam, whether they're in the building or at home.
Exactly.
Right? So,
and we have to adhere by what they call CIPA, or Child Internet Protection Act. Every school has to. They don't realize that, but they have to. So what happens if something happens at their school? They get nailed. They get sued. The government steps in. I don't want that on my plate.
Right. Yeah, and that's the right approach. And it's good, I think, that you've elected to go with a PC approach for education because, like you said, it does obviously prepare the students for real life. But more importantly, it allows you to adopt technologies that are more mainstream for security.
That is true. And also, a lot of the tools provided for kids nowadays for Chromebooks, Macs, aren't compatible. I mean, just take Adobe for a minute. It doesn't work on a Chromebook. So how can I give them the full Creative Suite on a Chromebook that won't support it?
Right. Yeah.
And we want to teach them this. I mean, they need to learn the products that's going to take them on in life. This is one of our wow factors here. This is what we call our Performance Arts Center.
This is a beautiful building. This is a beautiful space. This space makes me cry.
I have my $27,000 projector up there. This was probably the biggest challenge that me and Conversant had as far as Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I know when we were planning the bill of materials for this space, this specific congregation point was a key concern because there'll be so many people in this space at one time using Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So we've got how many access points just covering this space?
We have 22 in here. The density in here, I mean, as far as people goes, 10 access points wasn't going to handle it.
Yeah. And then with the complexity of fact that most of the devices that will be connected are mobile devices, which even further amplify the complexity of building a Wi-Fi network.
Right.
And you know, it'd be cool, David, I know you're scared to death of heights. You want to walk this catwalk with me?
I'll walk the catwalk with you.
Yeah. You're about to see me conquer one of my fears.
I'm good with that.
I'm scared to death of heights.
Just stay on close to the wall.
I'm on a catwalk. Hey, I'm a Chicken Little when it comes to heights. So this is cool.
Yep.
Hey, you want to stand there for a minute?
Nope.
Now, where are the APs up here?
Behind this wall.
They're behind here?
Yep.
Now, are there APs backstage as well?
2.
2. So if we were to evaluate the complete technology stack here, the technology stack is Cisco, Meraki, Cisco Umbrella, Microsoft everything, right? Fortinet, and Lenovo.
Lenovo. It's all Lenovo shop. There's no Dell here. So, and we did.
And of course Microsoft Office 365,
Yes,
right?
completely. So basically, we're going to take you in the server room real quick.
Okay.
It doesn't look like a full data center, but this for a school is quite a bit of equipment.
Yep.
I mean,
That's
we
cool.
are,
Obviously, we got Cisco Meraki everywhere.
and we
Fortinet.
actually did it. This is the first time I've ever did a Meraki core. Normally, it's Cisco for me for core, but they're really surprisingly fast compared to what they are.
Yep. So this is a very common implementation for us, except that here there's a lot more switches than normal in most organizations. But the Cisco Meraki 425 core is the right approach.
Now,
I can't remember, are these 225s or MS 250s or three?
those are the top of rack switches are the 335s, and then the 225s for
Yeah. Okay.
connectivity. Those are 64 terabyte DVRs because we have to hold 3 months worth of data.
As required by law.
Yep. And if you also notice, these are rack mounted. Now the security guard has full access, but he does not have physical access to the DVR. We did that through KVM, DVR, or HDMI KVM.
Cool.
We don't like people making changes to the hardware.
Agreed with that approach.
You want to walk to the field house?
Yeah,
Sweat a
let's-
little more?
Yeah, let's go show them field house. Now we were talking about what's next. The school opens, you're going on vacation
But
for
then
2 weeks, and then what?
we have just acquired another school in the Tri-Cities area called Tri-Cities Christian. We brought them last month under our umbrella. So as you know, we put in a firewall for them. Pretty much ripped out their entire network and redoing it from there. Hopefully after the new building is built, we will start during the construction phase, you and I will get together. We'll put in all the same stuff as we have here, because I like, you know me, I like the same everything.
Keep it consistent. Now this to me is impressive. I love how this looks like you're on a college campus. You got a ticket office, you got a courtyard. It's cool.
Right. Yep. This was a feat right here.
And we have Wi-Fi in here as well.
Absolutely.
How many APs are covering this space?
I've only put 10 in here.
Now, are there some mounted on the lower level and on the upper level?
Yes, both. In fact, each one of those offices down there has Wi-Fi. Each one of the offices in the locker rooms have Wi-Fi.
Speaking of 2020, in light of COVID, tell me about how the school was prepared for COVID.
Well, I have to pat both of us on the back for that, because we were prepared. All of our kids got to take their laptops home with them and they were able to function. We did virtual classroom through Teams. Never missed a beat. So I feel pretty good about that we were one of the few schools in the state that were able to not miss any class at all.
And that was namely because you had already adopted the Microsoft Cloud products. You had already deployed laptops to all the students, right?
That, and me and Brandon were able to deploy Umbrella before they took them home 2 weeks before. Two weeks before.
So Brandon, Conversant's engineer,
yes.
Right? And so they were able to take the laptops home safely without getting into all the internet smut.
Yeah, because
right?
I was not going to let them take them home without Umbrella on it, but we had to rush and get that done. Me and Brandon worked nightly because I couldn't work until after 3 o'clock, and then him and I worked till the wee hours of the morning on that.
So Conversant came through for you.
Yes, absolutely.
As it comes to COVID preparation.
Mm-hmm. Now you know for a fact that IT people don't sleep. We're only part cyborg.
Yeah.
So
unfortunately, oftentimes IT people are underappreciated. The reality is, in the modern world we live in, none of the systems that everyone's grown accustomed to will function if it wasn't for us.
Well, most of the people here think it just magically happens. And one day...
Well, that's because you're doing your job. If people think it is magically happening, that means you are doing something right. I mean, at the end of the day, staying true to the principles that you mentioned earlier, by choosing Cisco, Meraki, and Microsoft, you're basically taking business concepts and you're educating tomorrow's workers.
Yes. And that's the goal.
That's good.
Give them tools to win.
Well, thank you so much for the time. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for the tour.
Thank you for helping us.
Yeah, let's do the next one.
Let's do it.
See you, man.
Thank you, brother.